Dark Side of the Paranormal with your hosts, June Lundgren and Wendy Stanton. Stay with us as we discuss all things paranormal. Welcome to the Dark Side.
Welcome to the Dark Side of the Paranormal with your hosts, June Lundgren
and Wendy Stanton.
Today we're going to talk to Christina and Aaron Collins regarding their experience on the show Ghost Adventures, which took place in Astoria, Oregon. If you go and search for Ghost Adventures,
Graveyard in the Pacific,
the Norblad.
So tell us a little bit about how you got chosen to be on the show.
Well, first of all, thank you for having us on the show, June and Wendy. We appreciate that.
Of course.
It's good to meet you.
Yeah, we've never met before.
That's right. We've only been friends for about 4 or 5 years now. Well, I was called by one of the producers, and he wanted to talk about the Commodore Hotel, which back in January of this year, 2018, we all went, and the purpose was a group of us went to investigate the Commodore, which we did. And in speaking to one of actually he was our guide who worked at that hotel, I asked him if there's any other locations that we could possibly investigate while we were there, and he talked about their sister hotel, which is the Norblad, which was just a couple of blocks up the street. And so I was intrigued by that, and we, as a group, collectively agreed to do an investigation the following night if he could gain us access, which he did. So we all decided to go to the Norblad. And so because of my experience down in the Norblad, the producer was very excited about the fact that, I don't know if excited was the word, but I was attacked by a demonic force while down in the Norblad basement. And it was the worst, it was the worst attack that I had ever experienced. And as you two, Wendy and June, know, I have gone with you many times because I'm an ordained minister as well. I have gone with you to do demonic removals as an assistant. I don't do the removals, but that's your department. But as a minister, I go and to help with the families that are involved at these different locations. So I have been attacked on a smaller scale. This was the worst.
I remember seeing you. You were purple.
I was. I got very ill. I have 2 spinal diseases, and the first thing that happened was it grabbed my spine, which is part of your body, and that would be mine. And so it started slowly, but it started to make me sick over time. One of the issues was we had an individual who was there who I was paying more attention to that younger person as opposed to myself. Me being a father of many, I was more individual. And
you're being protective as a father would be.
And so, therefore, it thawed that out. It took it, and it went full force.
Because you were weak and jet.
Exactly. So, with the combination of my weak spine and me paying more attention to this younger person and being worried about them, it took that opportunity and really went full board and attacked. And so, over time, doing the investigation down in the basement, the attack just got worse and worse. And finally, it got to the point where I had to remove myself from the situation. And I went over to my wife and I said, "Look, she could tell." And
now, to interrupt you, just to make this clear, we weren't down there for more than maybe 45 minutes to an hour. I mean, this was. In the time frame, he's a very short amount of time. We weren't down there for hours and hours and hours. This was just within...
It's not a big place.
No, this was like 45 minutes, maybe an hour.
I was walking around with different equipment, cameras, video cameras, doing my thing, and with different people, that we were with. And it was just getting... So finally I said, I'm being attacked. It's getting really bad. so I need to remove myself. I didn't want to, so I need to go outside. And she wanted to go with me, and I told her no, absolutely not. I wanted to protect my wife. I didn't want it to jump from me to her. She also has health issues as well, and so I didn't want her to be attacked. I went outside. I took care of what I needed to, and when I came back in, I just felt like I'd been hit by a Mack truck. And so I told her I need to wrap it up and I need to go. And at that point, we had pretty much most of us decided to leave. There's a few that decided to stay a little longer. So,
So what did you encounter when you were there? What did you pick up while you were there? What kind, any feelings, visions, anything like that you?
For me, I walked down there, I knew it was negative. It was the feeling, it was the smell, that putrid, nasty.
Yeah.
For me, when I go to a location that's negative,
Yeah.
It smells like rotten eggs to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sulfur.
Exactly.
Sulfur, yeah.
And it's the feeling. So I knew the second we walked into that door and started going down those stairs, I could feel it. I just didn't want to say anything to anybody.
Plus, when you're down in an area, Buchanan spots, there was a lot that had been standing, so you've got that nastiness
Right.
as well. So put those two together, I mean...
Yeah, I felt it when I was walking towards the location.
Yeah.
And
Right.
like,
And that's the difference. I mean, you can always pick it up way before we get to a location.
Yeah, we were walking, it's like, oh, okay, yeah. And as I'm going down the stairs like, oh, this is just not good.
Right? And so once we got down there, it just got worse for me. As far as the feeling, I didn't have any visions, but a lot of negative feelings. I mean, it really...
A lot of emotions.
Yeah, a lot of
the air
emotions.
felt really thick down there.
But I kept trying to suppress that because I was more worried about this other individual than I was myself, which was a big mistake.
Yeah, because then
Obviously.
you have your tension more, Christina.
Oh,
This was a totally different story.
okay. Well, I get there. We get there, and of course, it smelled moldy.
Mm-hmm.
Smelled wet. Smelled it. I have a nice cool education.
It's okay, it's from your dictionary, so it's all
Yeah. It smelled moldy. It smelled wet.
This was really the epitome of a basement. I mean,
Yeah.
Seriously.
An unfinished basement.
Unfinished basement. It was nasty.
Of a
Yeah,
cold,
really,
wet,
yeah.
dark, nasty basement. But I walked in, and you could definitely tell it didn't want us there. But I started taking pictures around the room, and the more pictures I took, the more I felt like something was running from me.
I remember you saying that because the three of us were standing talking in the middle of the place. It's like, it's hiding.
Because, you kind of got the feeling that if you feel like, you're somebody's in your home and you don't want them there, but it's kind of like, for lack of a better word, a mother-in-law that you don't want in your home visiting for the holidays, and you can't get away from her, and she's nagging in your ear, and every room you go to she follows you, or or whatever, and you're trying to, that's the kind of feeling that I got. And the more I tried to take pictures, the more I tried to go around the room, I couldn't get what I wanted.
It was hiding from you.
It was running from me from the corner.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, well, whatever, I'm just kind of forget that, and I, just proceeded with doing what I was doing.
Yep, we all went all over the place.
Yeah, it was, and then I started flashing, I started tasting chicken blood.
I remember her saying that. She's like, this is bad.
I started tasting chicken blood. I started tasting chicken feathers. And I've never had a chicken feather in my mouth a day. So I don't know what. It's okay, Heather. You can laugh over there. Chicken feathers, chicken blood. I started hearing cockfighting. I started hearing laughter.
Was it loud? Like overwhelming loud?
Yeah, and I have ringing
so it
in my
busy.
I have ringing in my ears from medication, and I mean it was drowning that out. And I was like, wow, oh my God, what is this?
Yeah, you were kind of like, I've never had this happen. This is creepy.
I was totally distracted. Yep. And then I started hearing dogs barking and growling and fighting, and then I started hearing like knuckles and whatnot. I'm like, what in the
Punching,
world? Yeah.
Like
bare knuckle fighting. And I'm like, what? And I smelled liquor. and then perfume, and hearing the music, you know, and cigar smoke, and women laughing and hooting and hollering, and I'm like, you know, what in the world is going on in my head? And the more I advanced into the room from corner to corner and everything else, the more I started to get a clearer picture of what actually was going on there and what actually had been going on there. I called it the episode of Ghost Adventures a speakeasy, but I was quickly corrected to a hostel in my interview.
It was a speakeasy. Sorry, they were completely different things back then.
Well,
then,
yeah. It was quickly called a hostel.
Which, of course, this never made it on the episode.
No,
of course not.
And none of this that she said during the interview made it on the actual episode.
Can you imagine the mountain of footage on their floor?
Yeah,
well,
which is unfortunate because I felt all this was important.
That gives a lot of background.
Exactly.
And validity to everything.
Exactly. But, you know, all of this, and then the further I advanced into, you know, with my pictures, because, I mean, any paranormal investigator or anybody who's curious can pretty much out through process of elimination that when you're taking pictures, take at least 1 to 3, or more than one picture, but at least something to compare to. Mm-hmm. So that's what I was doing. I mean, I've got tons of pictures.
And I've got the videos that have all the orbs.
As I advanced around the room and around the corners to the right, I come around the corner, and funny enough, I find a chicken coop. An empty chicken coop. And I'm thinking,
I remember you're like, what?
I'm like, how in the hell did this? What are the chances? What is going on
about the other stuff?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I thought you
no, I hadn't.
I was
just like, okay, I got to go sit down, because that October, before we went to the before we did the investigation, I had back surgery. So I was like, okay, it's really hurting at this point, but I got to go sit down, and I got to figure this out. And as I walk over to sit down, I mean, all this is kind of clicking in my head. Okay, we've got women, we've got bare knuckle fighting, we've got booze, we've got dog fighting, we've got cockfighting, we've got loud music, we've got booze. This used to be.
So was there booze?
Huh?
So was there booze?
I could smell it.
Was there alcohol there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you've only
prohibition,
mentioned it a few times.
you know. Prohibition.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. But I mean, all of this kind of come together. This was like underground gambling. I mean, at its fullest.
Everything illegal.
Everything illegal from the early 1900s was right here. Anywhere from prostitution to all of the fighting.
It's a seaport.
Exactly.
You're gonna have that.
Right. And I was so overloaded that when I mentioned it to you guys are just kind of sitting back, kind of crossing your hands in your laps, going, and you got validation. Yeah. And June is like, sweetie, you're right on. And even the other person that was with us, who was
unique,
has some sort of abilities, even confirmed that I was right on as well. And like I said, are new to me. So that's why I was so overwhelmed. And I was just like, I mean, it was like flipping back a picture book that when you flip the pages back, everything comes together.
Let me interject. People don't know. We don't do history. We don't look into the background or history of where we go, because what good is it? Is sensitive, psychics, mediums, whatever, if we already know the history. So we went in there totally cold.
Yeah.
And we
First of all, anybody who knows me knows that I do enjoy history a lot, but this was on the fly.
This was different.
This was totally on the fly. This was spur of the moment.
Yep.
We did know historical record lookup. We didn't know anything about it except for it was a port town, and it was Astoria.
I still haven't looked it up, even almost a year later. I'm like, no, it's still folding out to us.
Yeah.
You know what? I know what I know to be true because I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it in my head.
You saw it, smelled it,
I saw it. I saw it. I smelled it. I tasted it. Literally.
You
so
used all your senses.
The only thing that I didn't that I didn't have happen is I didn't touch it, but I was there, and I got all the validation that I needed, because that
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it was confirmed by others, not
Yes.
just yourself.
Yes.
You know, and we as a paranormal group, we all belong to Northwest Paranormal Investigative Team, and then we have the side team of Ghosts and Girls Paranormal for negative stuff, because not
Can I
everybody
interject
needs
for
to
a
do
second?
that. Yeah.
And we all hold ourselves to a high standard.
Very.
And we hold each other accountable.
Very.
And we expect our team members, our core team and our side teams, to keep each other in check
and be honest and ethical, because there are too many questions, too much disbelief, and so it's like no.
And too much dissing on it. Don't do anything like that.
Now, going back to the not knowing the history, now on a normal investigation, we do history. We check the history. We do research, things like that. Now, maybe we don't tell June, and
I don't
you.
like to know anymore.
Right. Now, that's different. But on a normal investigation, of course, I want to know. I want to know other things that are going on during the, especially the preliminary investigation or interviews with the people at the location, stuff like that. So.
And we're always outside or completely elsewhere. We did one earlier this year where Aaron went inside and we stayed out in the car, completely removed.
And then
that
brought
way,
you in.
we don't have any clue.
I don't want to know. It's whatever I pick up is what I pick up, and
we don't need it discolored.
I don't want anything to color what I pick up.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I want it to be just what I pick up, and then validated later is fine. But I don't want to dig into the history. I don't want to go and look back and go to the Hall of Records and look back and see who owned this house and blah blah blah. Because that will come later.
Yeah. Exactly.
But there are some people who go and just do mega amounts of research on the history
and discuss it beforehand.
Yeah, not only the history of the place, but the people, the rumors.
You're talking about as a psychic medium.
As a medium.
Yeah.
And really, what good are you if you go
if
into
you go
all
in
that
knowing
stuff?
the history? That's ridiculous.
It could color who you think you're picking up on.
Exactly.
And as Christina is growing and developing and getting stronger, and she's getting so much stronger daily, she didn't need anything to set her off.
Yeah.
So none of us really knew anything.
None of us did.
No.
This was like I said. I mean,
I didn't even know the hotel existed.
Me either.
I didn't know until the night before when I discussed it with that individual, and he said, "Yeah, I'll set it up, and you guys can do it tomorrow night." And I was like, "Whoa!"
Exactly.
So it was just the night before. So.
And watching her facial expressions, like anybody can see me pointing to Christina, watching her facial expressions, attempting to explain what she's feeling, were priceless. I mean, the disgust and the horror on her face, and she's telling you what she's tasting. It's like, that's nasty. Okay, I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to videotape my orbs.
Yeah.
I'm not, but you keep your taste to yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to wander over here.
Exactly.
Look at the walls.
And the funny thing is we have teenage boys at home, so I'm kind of a boy's. I am a boy's mom, and nothing really bothers me.
Nothing phases us.
But I mean, honestly, that was gross.
Well, hello.
I mean, and like I said, I am as rough and tumble as they get. I am a tomboy mom, but that was disgusting.
There's a point where tomboy mom just will not cut it. That was it.
Yeah,
that was one of those situations.
The only thing that would have made it any worse is if I looked at you and seen feathers sticking out of your mouth.
That would have made it worse for me too.
Don't move! I gotta take a picture of this.
I would have died. I would have died.
See, this is all information that would have been. It was good background, but the Ghost Adventures crew decided it wasn't good enough to go in, that it wasn't important enough to go in. So basically why we're doing this, because she had all this useful information that was never utilized by them. And that's not right, because it actually helps to validate what they're getting, what they're picking up.
But then it did come out in the episode when Zach, he talked about cockfighting and all this other stuff later.
Yeah, but he didn't say where it came from.
Exactly.
No.
See, that's the thing. He didn't say who told him that. Or
I know they
has
have 42 minutes to stuff however long. It's like when I was on, they filmed for like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
So it's like they have 42 minutes.
Editing, yeah.
But you need to put the things that attach
source.
point A to point B.
Yeah.
Well, you have things floating around there that make no sense sense.
Yeah,
Why are
they-
you talking
out of
about
context.
cockfighting?
Yeah, out of
What was
context.
said?
Exactly.
There's no, it's like, how did you come about that? How did you find out about that?
Well, and then what gets me is, what happens when the residents of the Norblad start coming up with other issues.
Look
Yeah.
at TV, what's going on, and don't even know it, and they're living there. And,
Exactly.
why didn't you do this stuff?
And they're maybe hearing chickens or hearing roosters or
And they're thinking they're losing it by that point.
exactly.
Yeah, there
Well-
are permanent residents there that live
Yeah.
there.
Exactly. And here's the other thing. When we were in the room that they had us do our interview in
Yeah.
was at the Commodore.
Yeah.
When we were there in January, that is the very room where we stayed in.
Right.
Which
I
is
remember.
ironic.
Yep.
Now, when we got there, they didn't want us to come down, didn't want us to stay at the Norblad. They wanted us to, come on down to the Commodore.
Because of what happened
Yeah.
to me, because of the attack.
Yeah.
So
And that's
Zach, and I
understandable,
appreciated
yeah.
that. Zach was kind enough to not want to subject me to that
Right,
again.
right.
So he decided at last minute to hold it at the Commodore.
He'd
the
had a pretty
interview.
rough week himself already by
Yeah,
that point.
exactly.
Yeah.
And as he told me, during the interview, that he had also been attacked and in his spine, and because he had surgery also, and that's his weakest point. So. But yeah, it was kind of funny. We were coming off the elevator at the Commodore, and I said, "No
Wait, what?
way!"
No.
I said, "Christina, look, he was waiting for us in the same room we had stayed in January when we."
The one we came and
Yeah.
visited you in.
Yeah, it was
So
just
we
crazy.
walk in, and I started to laugh, and I'm like, okay, listen up, guys. I said, here's the deal. I said, now, if a train comes rolling by and we hear a whistle, I said, we're going to have about 17 spirits in here with us. And they're like,
Huh?
why? And I said, well, because when we stayed here in January, I said, we had no sooner checked in, closed the door, and I said, we were just getting settled, and I said, here come a train, here come the whistle, and next thing you know, we were packed in here like sardines.
Yep,
It
I remember
was
coming in
stuffy.
and you guys were like, "Oh my gosh!" And
We were like, and we had to tell the spirits when we
Yeah.
first
You need to
got
go.
there, you need to step out. Because,
This
you
is
can,
our spot.
because
Honestly,
I felt like I couldn't even move side to side,
Well,
shoulders.
bodies.
Yeah. Because it's like, okay, but you could just feel the difference. And they're like, yeah, right. I'm like, I am serious.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I said, when the train came in, when they put the train rail in and when they put the tracks in, I said, so much happened here, so much death.
Yep.
And I said, these people, they know.
Yeah.
They know, these spirits, they know somebody here.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And I said, so I'm just fair warning. I said, if you hear that whistle, we're going to be, I said, there was way more there was only 2 of us here when we were in this room.
It was
I
so
said, now
full
there's-
when we got there.
Yeah. I said, now there's 6 of us in here, and can you imagine 17 more?
Yeah.
I said, talk about it. I said, it's dead space, but still.
Yep.
And just like,
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, it was interesting. So we had to ask when we were there in January for the spirits to step out, and they did. They were respectful, and I'm just like, we just need 5 minutes,
Yeah.
5, 10, 15 minutes, So they stepped out.
Until we came and then to visit.
Yeah.
again.
They decided it was fair game.
Yeah,
We're like, come on, knock it off. Here's the window. Go.
pretty much. Thank you.
Just go. Because I remember you standing on your side of the bed. You're like,
Yeah, I felt like I was, totally cramped,
sharing your clothes with them.
pretty much.
So one of the things that I wanted to hopefully discuss with you is, okay, so I've gotten a lot of flack.
For want of a better word.
Yes, regarding my demonic attack. There's a lot of people, and that's fine. I don't expect everyone to believe, nor do I care. I know what happened to me. I know what I've encountered in the past.
And I know what happened to Zach.
Yes, which anyone can check that out on the episode and see what happened
Right.
when he grabbed your hand.
Yeah.
So one
It's
of the
amazing who your
things
friends
that
are.
Yeah.
one of the things that I believe I discussed on the episode, but we can discuss now, is that not only was I attacked, but this didn't just last one day. I mean, this lasted for 3 months, and for 3 months there was so much. I was affected by this continuously, and we had a slew of negative things happen with us, with our family. And so to do the interview, that was in April. And then you and I talked, and a week after the interview, you came and you did a purge.
Yeah.
So maybe you can explain the purge and what was happening to me, and exactly what you did to me, because I am no longer, thank God, affected by this, and it relieved me and my family from that.
It's difficult when a person is attacked or a person has an attachment of a negative. Then that stays with you. It's absorbed. The negative energy is absorbed by the cells, absorbed by the cells in the body, by the spirit, by the mind. And so you have to purge all of that in order to not attract other negative entities.
Add on to it, yep.
Yeah, because if you don't, you just keep attracting others, and more negative things will happen to you. And so I decided, because of everything that was happening to him and his family, that I would do a purge. I do laying on of hands, and I remove any and all negative energy and anything that's around him. I fill it with the white light of the Holy Spirit and God and Jesus. And once that's taken hold, then things start getting better. The person no longer attracts negative energy or entities, and they just feel better all the way around. Things start going in the good way instead of in the bad way that they have been going. Yeah, a little more smoothly. And it's life. We're going to have ups and downs, but the thing is, you shouldn't have them helping you with those downs.
No, make the
and they do. They will attach themselves to you. They will, do what they can to make your life a living hell. And so I have to make their life a living hell by removing them.
And what's hard about what we all do is some of us, and it depends on how's our health, different things. It's like when we all did our taping, and especially when we did the Norblad, I was attacked. Remember when we sat there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Waiting for June. June was doing her thing, was about to do her thing. And because I have really bad migraines, I have ruptured discs in my neck. It was like somebody split my neck clean in half. Somebody had said something, and a spirit utilized it to do that. It took me almost a week over it. Mm-hmm. And so it's like they just love to do those different things. Nothing went home with me. Mm-hmm. Nothing stayed attached. Mm-hmm. But they do to this day love to do their best to torment and torture.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
That's their MO.
This thing, because did you talk about the flood? Mm-hmm. Well, we had...
No, I wasn't going to talk about what happened.
We had a flood at home, so we ended up having to move to a hotel, the whole family. Mm-hmm. And then through the course of about a month and a half, almost 2 months, maybe even longer than that. I mean, we were, it would call his name in the middle of the night. It would wake him up. It would try to get me. I mean, I had I felt like,
it was pulling your legs.
It was pulling on my leg. I woke up from a nap, and I asked my husband to get his removal kit with his holy water. Specifically, I asked him to get his Bible and his holy water. Laying there, I'm almost in tears because something had a hold of. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to kick you. Something had a hold of my. Sorry, my toes look terrible. Something had a hold of my left calf. Now, I had surgery in May,
right,
on my left knee. Yep. Mm-hmm. But something had a hold of my left leg, and it felt like it was hot. And when he touched my left foot and my left leg, it was hot. And I said, "Douse
Just
me,
do it.
douse me, get it off me. I can't have this." Getting me on my left left leg that's injured. I just can't.
They know your weak spot, and
exactly.
They'll go for that
and
every time.
And it was, my foot was twitching. I felt like I was being pulled out of bed, and I'm like, oh hell no, we are not doing this. I've been through this before. Hell no.
And you didn't even want to get up.
I think
like that.
Exactly.
You just were, I can't handle this.
Exactly. I mean, everything kind of snowballed on us from April on. And actually, it was before that. It was since January. I mean, everything just,
because you were in the hotel when we went to do the taping.
Yes. But I mean, I misstepped on the step at home, ended up tearing the rest of my meniscus, causing me to have surgery in May.
You name it.
Not meaning to get real personal about family, but we had some incidences with family and incidences with kids. We had incidences with
vehicles, every vehicle.
You name it.
One after the other.
My father-in-law. I mean, it was just there was just so much that just went boom, 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 and as it kept going, I mean, it started off as just a little tiny ice cube. And as we kept going, I mean, it was a giant boulder.
Even the day that I got the call from Ghost Adventures saying, "Hey, we want you to be here in a week." I was at the repair shop.
Yeah.
For the van.
That's
and
what
we have a newer
things,
van.
That's what these things do.
But it was just
thank
goodness it was a minor thing, but still.
But everything just kind of snowballed.
Yeah, I remember you're like, this happened. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah. I mean, other people can say, well, that doesn't have anything to do. Well, really. If you add it all together.
Think about it.
And I had somebody challenge me the other day who will remain nameless for a reason, saying, do you really attribute your flood in your house and your mother having pneumonia and going to the hospital, being admitted to the hospital to this demonic, so-called demonic attack? Yes, I do. And here's why. Everything happened in succession.
Yeah.
Okay.
It always does.
In succession.
When they've got you, when they're after you, all this stuff happens. It turns your life to a living hell.
The way I look at it is look at a like tug of war. Okay, you have a big giant rope, and you're pulling the rope, and there's all these people that are on the other side of that rope. And as you're pulling, there's that mud puddle, and each person's falling in that mud puddle one at a time. That's what it looked to me. If you look at everything that happened to us,
and it was like our extended family, and each one of them was getting pulled in the mud, but they keep getting back up to get in the back of the line, and they each kept happening.
Exactly.
Mud in the face.
They don't just focus on you; they focus on everyone around you
as well. I wasn't myself. I was getting angry. I was getting angry. I wasn't feeling right.
You were not a happy camper.
I wasn't thinking the way I would normally think.
No, it wasn't.
Like that. And even towards the end, in fact, Zach had mentioned during the interview, what is the name of that movie he has? Hell House or
Demon House?
Demon House. Yeah, Demon House. So something in me said, watch it. And we came back from Astoria, and that night, was it that night? The following night,
because we crashed when we got back. I mean, we just totally were out.
Yeah, you do.
The following night, she was asleep, and I bought it and watched it by myself. And
then up on day number 2, watch it again. I looked at him and I said,
no.
I was
crazy. I wanted her to watch it. And we started, and she said, turn it off. And I'm thinking, why? This is great, And I turned it off.
Could feel it. I could just feel it. It's right here.
And after I had watched it the first time, I wanted to watch anything and everything that was demonic, which is unlike me. I don't want to watch stuff like that. But I had to. I felt like I had to, though.
It's almost like because I'm on the left side of the bed and he's on the right, so it's almost like he's sitting here watching this, and I could just feel it right here, just where I wanted to just go.
I was getting angry at everything.
I
wasn't. No. But I wasn't. I wasn't harming anyone. I would never lay a finger on my wife or the kids.
No, I'd beat the hell out of him if he did that. but just saying, it's okay, Heather. You can laugh, sweetie.
I never have, never will, and
I'll beat the.
I'm not that kind of person, and even under that influence, I didn't feel like harming anyone like that. But verbally,
it was just stuff. The things,
verbally,
I
was angry that the kids wanted to eat food.
What?
Something stupid like that.
I know.
They wanted money.
Minutes.
No. They wanted money to go and spend more money on food. Out because we were in a hotel, of course. Right. Simple, stupid little things like that. Every little thing irritated me. And that's not like
That's
me.
the demonic influence.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had to
It
look
got
at him
really,
and go,
really bad. Really
look,
bad.
dude, it's summertime. It's 106 degrees outside. If the kids want to go get some damn ice cream, let them go get some ice cream.
Yeah,
Okay,
but you know what they did? They've already had it.
But you understood there was something not right.
Exactly.
And she's like, you need to call June. I don't want to call June.
I remember her telling me something's up, something's not right.
And then I was like, yeah, I better call June.
And I said, if you don't call June, I'm going to call June. And I said, if I call June, you are in trouble because I'm going to call Wendy too.
She'd already called me.
Double trouble.
Yes, I did.
See, I didn't even know that.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
She and I
comes
said-
out now.
Oh.
And we sat and we talked and we talked.
Oh, yeah.
And we talked.
Because I said, if
You
y'all
hear
don't
that,
get over-
Joel? They're ganging up on me, pal. I got to get up to Canada.
Suck it up, princess.
Oh,
Because I
man.
said, if y'all don't get over here and take care of this, I'm going to take care of it myself.
Oh.
And believe you me, y'all,
I will be able to get you
don't
out
But that's how
of
they
there.
work, though. I mean, they want to separate you.
Yeah, they
They
want to isolate
you and
push everybody away.
push everybody away. And
See,
that's
but
hold on. That's exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
They wanted, I felt like I didn't want anybody around me.
Yeah.
You know, I just kind of wanted to be in my own little spot.
That's
in a
their
way.
MO. That's what
You
they
know?
do. Yeah.
And like at night, that was my feeding time
Yeah.
because I wanted to watch everything I possibly could that was demonic. Anything negative, I wanted to watch, and I did. And I'm not going to tell you the channel, but where I got where I got the where I got the Demon House.
Oh, yeah.
Heather and I
Because
watched
they have
that.
all that kind of stuff, and I was like, "Oh."
We watched it once and we took it as a learning tool, which is how she and I handle it. It's like, okay, here are the things that we saw, here are the things that we learned. And
Well, darn it, I'll have to watch it. I haven't watched
you
it.
and I
What's
talked
up?
about it, and I told you, you're
Although
like,
I did see didn't they do an episode when they were there at the house, and Lorraine Warren had gone in before with a different team, and had
At that house?
Yeah, at that house, and
I
told
don't
them,
remember.
this is what's here. This is you don't want to be here. You need to leave.
Oh yeah.
You need
Well,
to
Zach had
come
every
back.
warning not to go.
Of
I'll
course.
tell you what,
Of course.
and let me say this, by the way. Since we did Ghost Adventures, I have the utmost respect for Zach and the team. I will tell you, they were so, and Zach, this is a shout out to you, my friend. You were so professional. You were so kind.
It's an art.
You were so
Yes.
wonderful. I mean, to be honest, the
Yeah, we
whole,
do look
and
at
I'm
that.
talking about the entire team.
Yes.
I'm talking
Absolutely.
about not just on camera, off camera,
Exactly.
producers, everyone, sound, everyone that was involved with these guys, and I'm sure you guys all agree.
Absolutely.
They were absolutely
They
A1.
took such
They
good
were-
care of
yes.
me when I was there. I had a loss a couple of days beforehand, and they're like, "Are you doing okay? Can we do anything for you?" They handled me almost like I was going to break or something.
They
sometimes.
treated you like you needed to be treated, and that is exactly. I honestly watched when I first came back into my husband's life after many years. He told me all about what he did and what his passions, and I thought, okay, well, I can get used to that.
Yeah, and you and I met when you were getting your.
Well, yeah, we were. I was just starting to get into it a little bit. But when we started watching, when he introduced me to Ghost Adventures, I thought, who in the world is this dude?
Same
I
thing
thought,
with Heather.
I said, what a pompous ass. And I'm looking at Aaron going,
What are you thinking?
yeah, I'm thinking, really?
Heather did
Really?
that too.
I'm like, what
Yes.
an overactor. I'm like, oh my.
Heather got me into it, and I'm like, why am I watching this?
Exactly. I'm
And she's
thinking,
like, come on.
I'm like, what a 2-year-old. What a 2-year-old. And I'm like, oh my gosh, poor Aaron. Look, if they're going to lock him in that thing again. My God, they're so mean to him. And then meeting him in person. Totally different outlook.
experience. Yeah.
Totally
Though we've
different.
got to say about Aaron, the look and the actions you see on television are who he is. His eyes almost fall out of his head.
Yeah, he's funny.
I mean, he is just the sweetest
and
can
it was
be.
cool, you know,
Yes.
because we got a chance to spend a little time with him outside
Yes.
the Commodore,
Yes.
hanging out with him. Same thing with Billy.
Yeah.
Billy is
Billy
awesome. He's
is
hilarious.
He was my
Billy
camera.
is-
Oh my
awesome.
gosh, he is so funny.
The guy
And,
that was my
and
producer,
Jay, he was
Corey,
awesome.
I
Corey's
adored him. He is
amazing.
just the kindest
Oh my
man
gosh,
on
I
the
love
planet.
Corey. Corey was so cool.
Exactly. I mean, there's nothing
Um,
you can really say except for the fact they couldn't take our episodes and use all that footage.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
here's the other thing, though. Maybe they will take the outtakes and whatnot.
I
for the
think they're going to do the
aftershock.
aftershocks.
I was going to say they might do
I really
aftershocks
see
and maybe
that
contact us and
happening.
have us come back.
I really
you
see
know.
that happening.
It'd be nice to go to Vegas, wouldn't it?
That would be
Hey, let's
amazing.
do
Hey, let's do it.
There's a museum.
My
I
gosh,
can
I'm
take care of
so-
business.
Let's
I
do
can
it.
take care of business.
Now, June.
You wouldn't be allowed.
You wouldn't be allowed to go.
Jack said, "Get her out of here."
Yeah. Oh no, not June.
Anybody?
Not the
He
DMV.
would go.
Stop.
Okay,
Yeah.
you, not her. You, not her.
Now you know what's funny is before your interview with him, because we were before you,
Right.
and I'm talking about you, and I called you a demon seer, and he said, "Wait a minute, what?" She's a what? And I said, "A demon seer." And so I had to explain it to him, and he was like, "Oh, I've never heard of that before."
You're
And
not
so-
from Ireland
I didn't
either.
use
Yeah,
that
yeah.
language when we were talking
Yeah.
because I was telling him about our teams and about ours and what's your this is her name and this is what we do. I didn't think to utilize that because we're a team and so it's
Mhm.
like it's just part of what we do.
Yeah.
I didn't even
We're
think
so
of
used to
that.
doing it, we don't pay
Yeah.
no attention.
Yeah. But when people hear that, they're like, "What?
Wait, what?
What's a demons?" Like Clyde Lewis, when I first talked to him about you, he's like, "What? Wait a minute, what?" I mean, everybody's reaction is that, "What is that?
Well,
What does she do?"
I don't like the name demonologist. I have run
Yeah.
across some fakes, and
Yeah.
that pisses
Exactly.
me off. They take money from people. That pisses me. I don't want to have anything to do with the title demonologist.
Okay,
All
first
that
of
is
all,
anyway is somebody that studies demons.
Do
Yeah.
Ghost and
Big deal.
Girls, do they charge to do demonic removals?
Never.
No.
Ever,
Does
ever.
Northwest Paranormal Investigative Team charge
No.
for
no,
investigation?
absolutely not.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the difference.
That's
we
the
don't
difference.
charge for
Right.
this.
No.
We do this because we want to help people. That's the
No.
that's
That's
the
what
whole
it's- that's
purpose.
what it's all
What is
about.
that? What is it that we do? Who do we move to the top of the list? Always and every time.
Families in need.
Exactly.
And who do we give top priority to?
People that have children.
Thank you.
Yes.
And the elderly,
Yep.
Yep.
and veterans, and the disabled.
Those that are having
Well, those
issues,
that
yes.
are emergency
Yes.
cases.
Yes.
We have to prioritize.
Yeah.
Well, that's
so
what I'm saying. I
emergency
mean,
cases.
yes.
So, people that are being hurt physically,
Yes.
we have to run to that.
and
Yeah,
we've
of
done that
course,
how
You
many
know,
times?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we've had to drop everything, and if everybody can't come, we take who we can.
Absolutely.
There's times that just you two have
Yeah.
had
It
to
doesn't.
go.
It doesn't matter. We
Yeah.
have to go there.
It's not about I want to go.
There's
And
one
it's
particular
not that.
case
It's,
that
yeah.
we have gone on twice.
Mhm.
That's a good thing that just she and I go on.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's so many facets into it that other people don't need to be brought into it.
Right.
And these people have had like dead files contact him and stuff like that,
Oh wow.
and they don't want to have nothing to do with it.
And they flat
Yeah.
out told them who they go through, and it's what we all see, and what we all those of us that are empaths, what we feel inside. It's heartbreaking. I remember after the three of us went on a particularly horrifying one last year that also at the same point in time leaves you speechless. We were all checking on each other later and the next day because you sat there going, did I witness these things?
Right.
And you felt the heartbreak of this person.
Yeah.
And physically it was so draining. It's like, wow, you're still checking on each other days later.
Mhm.
So do we... No, we don't charge, but we beg these people sometimes to go get more help because
Yeah.
these things will leave an imprint
Oh yeah.
and you
Yeah.
need help. And a
Yeah.
lot of people don't like to listen. They think, okay, you help me, bye.
Exactly.
And then they call us later.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
And sometimes we refer people to other teams.
Yeah.
There's times that, it's something that we just can't help with for whatever reason. And we refer to reputable, good teams that we know that are reputable, people that we know very well. And vice versa. Other people refer to us,
right?
You know?
Or if it's just way out of our area, and we have a team that we can trust.
Because there are teams that specialize.
Absolutely,
yeah, exactly, in different areas.
Or if it's just way out of our location, or if it's just like way out of our location. Say it's in Missouri. We would
go in a heartbeat if there was an affordability.
Absolutely.
We would so be there and be hands-on because we prefer to be hands-on.
Absolutely.
We just do. Because that's showing your heart. That's showing the fact that they matter.
Yeah.
And sometimes how many millions of times June goes, I have one I have to do from 2,000 miles away. And I know at the same point in time, her heart would prefer to be there.
Yeah.
You can look the person in the face and they know that you care. And I got an email or a text message the other day from somebody that we went and handled last month. And it was another thank you. You came, you cared about us. Mm-hmm. And that is important. You cared about us. Of course, that's why we do this. And no, don't invoke people on the other side. No, we don't invoke the dark ones. And so please don't contact us to invoke the dark ones because it is not going to happen. No, we've had that.
I went and did a removal from
up
in Vancouver.
Yeah, we did that last October.
From this woman, she had 2 kids. And it's like, there's something else going on here.
I looked at her, I said, something's up, something's wrong.
So we removed the negatives, and then there was a portal. And it's like, this chick is like, got something else going on here.
And then I got a message on, whatever it was. Hey, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm doing laundry. And I look at my phone, and it says, can you help me call out? And she put in parentheses, if I recall right, negatives, because that's what we all refer to them as negatives, because they're not all demons, but they're not positive, that's for sure. And I'm like, no, because you called us into, I know, but.
No.
And it's like, no, time out. So I forwarded the message to June so that she could see it, because this is a person that was wanting attention. Yeah. She was wanting us to teach her stuff that she had no need to know.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
but you're going to come across people like that.
I still get referrals from her from time to time.
Yeah.
And what's sad is what she leaves in these people. And she charges them.
What?
Yeah, oh yeah, she charges them.
Oh. Is this the person that wanted you to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And then there's another one out there that will charge, it's to remove demons or what have you. It's several sessions, if I recall right.
Oh, yeah.
$1,200 a pop, or is it $1,200 for all of it?
All of it.
$1,200. And what we've heard is it never works.
Wow.
Well, yeah. Let me think about that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Hello.
Well, I think we can all agree that you can be an excellent investigator. You can have all the scientific equipment. You can be a great investigator using scientific equipment. You can be a great investigator using all your natural tools, your bodies and things like that.
Right.
But if you don't have the heart, what good are you? To be honest,
none of it's going to work.
None of it's really going to be that effective if you don't have the heart. And that's the thing that we all have in our team.
I am the empath for June and I, because sometimes she doesn't like doing it, so I do it well.
It's Ariel. She doesn't like it.
Yeah, and I've got my little inner being who's decided to wake up, and she's a pain in the neck. Sorry, leave me be.
But some people are in it for the glory. And we're in it because...
Really?
Because we want to help people, and that's
Did you
bottom
see
line.
Glory last October at that person's house?
No. Man, that was exhausting.
The only
was
glory
amazing.
we saw.
That was a million different
there are
things.
No words.
Yeah, it took me a good week to recover.
And all of us.
It took me a while to emotionally,
because
that's why I kept asking you, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, we sent each other messages. We're like, I will say this: it is not many people. This is going to sound weird. You are honored. Yes, of course I am. Look who I hang out with. That are honored, and take this loosely in one way, to be in the presence of the Almighty Evil, and then in the greatest, most beautiful power.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many people walking this planet can sit there and say,
yeah.
Well, I'm in the presence of 3.
The dark side is always there, waiting for us to enter, waiting to enter us. Until next time, try to enjoy the daylight.